16,
And
15,
a
14.
very
Seven.
good afternoon to everyone.
Now I'm
And
apparently
welcome.
6 or 7 seconds behind because I hear Dwayne and
Yeah, there's going to be a delay. There's going to be a delay,
Registered, man.
guys. There's going to be a delay. Just give me a second. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside the Galactic Shenanigans Live studio here as we present to you the Hooking Slice, our weekly episodic adventure of the Golf Club 2 and eventually the Golf Club 2019.
he's got a desk.
Rich, you're on the air. You got to be quiet, please. Rich, can you hear me?
I hear you. I'm
All right,
sorry.
Thank you. You guys are on, and I can't switch that off, so you guys are just going to have to be patient while I'm doing this. All right, guys. So, again, these guys are new to this, and we're going to fix all these things that are going on. But welcome in. We've got our live reveal going on here this afternoon for the second round of the Ryder Cup, the Elite Friends Golf Society Ryder Cup. This is our farewell tour to the kind of the Golf Club 2 and getting ready for the Golf Club 2019. We've had round one. It is complete. We had 9 matches this past week, and right now Team West Virginia is winning 6.5 to 2.5 over Team New Jersey. So this week we're going to be getting ready for team stroke play. So last week was a singles event. This week is a team event, meaning that we're going to be pitting up 2 of the actual players from the team together, and they're going to go up against another team from the other side, and they're going to be doing team stroke play. And what that means is we're going to take the stroke that they got for the entire round, and we're going to combine them together. So, for example, if I was playing with Rich, I would be -7, Rich would be -8. We would have a total score of -15. The lowest score, of course, will get the point. If there's a tie, we'll have a half a point in regards to that. So, for those of you just coming in, welcome into the studio. I am Kosa Royalty. You're watching Shenanigans Live, and this is the Hooking Slice. It is our weekly review show, preview show here for the Golf Club 2. So, guys, welcome in. I've got the administrators for the Galactic Shenanigans in here with me, as we will do every single week. I've got Steve, I've got Rich, and I've got Darren. How you doing, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
Well, good.
I'm sure that
Good, thank you.
Dwayne, you look like Jimmy Kimmel sitting there.
So good. I hope everybody enjoys it. I wanted to do something a little special for this show, and I'm trying to up the graphics a little bit. So I hope everybody enjoys it. I'm sure Darren's pretty happy. England got a 2-0 win. So today,
A little tip.
It is what it is.
Next broadcast, don't wear a shirt with words on it
why?
because they're backwards.
Oh, well, and they won't be backwards in the next one, because the only reason I have this one flipped, Rich, is because the microphone's on the opposite side. So I mirrored it this time. Normally it won't be that way. Okay.
Akirema. Okay.
So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get right into this, and you guys can comment along with me. But we are going to head on over to the a graphic that I think hopefully will work out pretty well. Again, this is kind of the first time that I've done this, so I'm hoping that it works. And let's go ahead and get right into
Is it coming through the TV?
Our reveal.
Don't turn it up too loud because it'll echo through here.
All right, so here we've got the Elite Friends Golf Society and Shenanigans Golf Live. This is kind of a partnership between Steve and I, obviously, and we are the captains for both sides. And we're going to do the round 2 live reveal. So let's get right into it, guys. What do you say? Let's not waste any time. And let's start with first Team New Jersey. All right, so Team New Jersey, and we'll take a look here and see exactly what the teams are going to be like. You can see there's only 4 teams. That's because there are 18 players, so we have an odd number. Myself and Steve will be going up against each other 1v1 in stroke play this week. So the other 16.
By the way,
go ahead, Steve, or Rich.
By the way, if anybody's looking for an unemployed graphic assistant, I am looking for work. Because
I told Steve that I don't need. I told Steve that I don't need my graphics guy because I have it all taken care of now. I can just hit my Stream Deck here and it does it for me. So, all right. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's look at team number 1. So team 1 for Team New Jersey. The first player on Team 1 is Rich LP68. So Rich LP 68 is first here on Team 1.
Hey,
He's
there I am.
going to be teamed up with Jakey Robo 85. So Rich LP
All right,
and
Jakey.
Jakey Robo 85 will be team number 1. So there's the first team for Team New Jersey.
Team CCB Dominators.
All right, let's head on to team number 2 now. Team number 2, and team number 2 starts out with Wugs. So Wugs is on team number 2, and he will be partnered up with Z the G. So Wugs and Z the G will make up partnership number 2 for Team New Jersey. So let's head on in now to team number 3. How you doing, Mr. Joey Man? Welcome into the stream. I see Sammy's in there as well. I'm sure we got some of the guys here from the tour in there. I hope we do. We're watching us live. Team 3. Let's see. The first player for Team 3 is Tat22020. So there is Tat on the board, and he is going to be teaming up with Ty Cobb 99. So Tat and Justin will be paired up together. And that leaves us the last 2 players that will be teamed up for Team New Jersey. Player 1 for team number 4 is Sire 0329. So there is Jack. And Jack will be teaming up with Caleb, Cab 5290. So there is Team New Jersey's teams for round number 2. Those are the teams that will be playing with each other. So let's go ahead and move on now to Team West Virginia. So let's head on over there to the Mountain State. There we go. We've got the colors for West Virginia in the background, the bubblegum pink and the blue. And let's take a look at team number 1. First player for team number 1 for Team West Virginia, it is Darren Fairhurst 1970. So there is co-administrator Darren. He's up on the board first, and he is going to be teaming up with Pachulio 5. So it will be Darren and Matt playing against or with each other here in the second round. All right, let's move down to team number 2. Player 1 for team number 2 is T3Z4R67. That is Terry. And Terry will be teamed up with Mulster. So there's Martin. So Terry and Martin will be teamed up with each other here in round number 2. Let's move down to team number 3 now. And team number 3's first player consists of Mr. Joey Man. So there is Mr. Joey Man. I know he's in the stream there. So Mr. Joyman, who are you going to be paired up with? And it will be Bowtech 5. So it will be Mr. Joeyman and Bowtech 5. And that leaves for the remainder of Team West Virginia, player number 1 for Team 4, Miss Putz. And Miss Putz will be teamed up with Scammon 024. So there's Sammy and Elizabeth. And so there once again we have Team West Virginia. All right, guys, so before I get into the reveal of who your opponents will be next week, let's head back over into the studio. Let's discuss a little bit with the guys exactly what they think about the pairing. So let's Steve and I have already discussed it. So Rich and Darren, what are your thoughts?
All very solid.
Yeah,
all very
looks pretty
solid.
good. Looks like some good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Putz and Sammy, that's going to be a tough team, and I know Justin likes playing with Daryl, Tat.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yep.
And I think it's a case you've got people there whose styles are similar, ways of playing are similar. Yeah, it's competitive.
Nice.
All down to who pairs who now.
Nice.
And
You
again,
guys are good mind readers.
And again, Jakey and I had a good week on CCB. Jakey came in first place. I came in 4th. So we're playing some better golf.
I decided to put Darren and Matt together. Matt played extremely, really good here in this past week. So I was hoping that he and Darren would be able to pair up pretty well against each other. I know Martin struggled a little bit, hoping that he can can do some damage there with Terry on our side, but you never know. This was the best way to go about doing it, obviously. So I think it's going to work out extremely well for both sides. I think you got to see here with the 4-point deficit the team New Jersey has. They've got to try and get back into it, and we've got to try and extend our lead. So. Yeah, I think there's going to be some interesting matchups, especially when you see who's playing each other. So with that, let's head back over to the other set, and let's get right back into it, and let's find out what
I was waiting for my next
the
guess.
pairings are. Oh, yeah, my next guess. So let's head into the round 2 live reveal of the pairings now between the two sides. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the team stroke play, and you'll notice that there are 5 matches. That's because there are going to be 4 matches of team and 1 match of singles to round out round number 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at first matchup number 10. We've already had 9 matchups, so that's why this is match number 10. And so in match number 10 for Team New Jersey, it will be Rich LP 68 and Jakey Robo. So Rich and Jakey there, and let's see who are they going to be going up against. It is the team of Terry and Martin. So Rich LP and Jakey will be going up against Terry and Martin in match number 10.
Terry and the non-putting.
Yes.
Well, we are on the air, so I'll leave that last for.
He's also the NFB, the non-flopping bitch, so it's okay. All right. So match number 11. All right, let's find out who is going to be playing for Team New Jersey, and it is Wugs and Z the G. They're going to be taking on Fairhurst 1970 and Pachulio 5. So Wugs and Z the G versus Darren and Matt. So that will be an interesting matchup, I believe. All 4 of those guys played extremely well there this past week. So really interested to see how that matchup pans out. Let's move down to match number 12 for Team New Jersey. We have Captain Rax. And Captain Rax is going to be going up against yours truly, Coaster Royalty. So hopefully, all right, this match goes the way it did for the first time we played, where I was really on a roll. But I'm sure Steve wants to get some revenge there, so we'll take a look. And, of course, it is stroke play. It is not match play this time.
Yeah, well, Steve's going to see how you play with busted kneecaps.
All right, let's move into match number 13 now. How you doing, Elizabeth? Welcome into this chat. So glad you could join us. Yeah, hopefully you didn't miss anything, but you're getting ready to find out who you're going up against. Match number 13 for Team New Jersey. It is Sire 0329 and Cab 5290. That is Caleb and Jack. Caleb and Jack will be going up against Mr. Joey Man and Bo Tech 5. So there you go. So we got Jack and Caleb versus Joey Man and Bo Tech. And that leaves in match number 14 for Team New Jersey, Tat 22020 and Ty Cobb. That is Justin and Daryl. And
Justin against Miss Putz again.
Going up against Miss Putz and Scammin 024. So there are
Justin's
the
gonna be
pairings.
He's going to love that, isn't he?
Justin's going to get revenge on Miss Putz and trashing his buddy Sammy.
Put a sock in that Scamming 024's mouth. Let's go.
Oh, Ty.
Yeah, there's no purple scars in this game, Sammy. Of course, he did beat me, so I can't talk too much.
All right, so there are the round 2 pairings for this week. I'll go back to them before we sign off, but let's head back over into the studio with our administrator guests. Let's move right back over there, and guys, what do you think? What?
Let's take a match by match.
All right,
let's take a match by match.
Okay, that's a good idea.
All right, go ahead.
All right, All right, so match 10 is Rich LP, Rich and Jakey versus Terry and Martin. What are your all's thoughts about that match?
Well, that's an easy win for Team New Jersey. That's a walkover.
I would make on current form. I would make Rich and Jakey favourite there.
Yeah, we will be in CCA by then.
I'll make you two favourite there.
I think you guys would play really, really well together. And that's what I was thinking.
See,
well, we've been playing. Jakey's good golfer, and I've been struggling the last month or so, but I'm putting my game back together. I've been hitting the ball straight. Yesterday I was playing my final TGC round, and I almost couldn't miss a putt. So they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, and I'll tell you this. I think, Terry didn't play real well last week. So I'm thinking that he can maybe get some revenge. Not so much revenge, but maybe get back on the right track. And then Martin, of course, he struggled. He's not been a big fan of the courses yet. He's not going to be a fan of this course this week. We already know that.
Oh, no, he loves this course.
Yeah, so I want to see if those two guys can, maybe work off each other and maybe try and get out of their rut a little bit. I think that's going to be really big. If we can muster out a win there, that's going to be big time for us.
Martin's capable of a really good round.
Right,
if
exactly.
he takes his time.
Right, exactly.
Terry is the wild card there. Terry is the one who can put up a 12 under, out of nowhere.
Martin can do that as well.
Martin can do it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it as well.
Right.
So interesting. All right, let's move down to match number 11 then. That's Wugs and Zach versus Darren and Matt. So what's your all's thoughts and opinions on this one?
Okay, so for me, the strategy here is I'm playing to match Duncan's score, and then I'll leave it to Matt to take care of Zach, and then we get the win.
I see Zach knocking Darren out. And
whoa!
It's not boxing, Rich. It's not UFC.
I'm gonna make quick work of Matt. That's another walkover for New Jersey.
Well, I got to tell you, Zach played Dunholm really, really well.
He did.
And that was
I think it'd be close. I would be disappointed to lose that, but I think it'd be close.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Darren was the first draft pick, and for good reason. He's been plays awesome. He won't tell you. He's very modest, but he's been playing great.
Well, and Zach played. Zach didn't play bad in that first round. I mean, he shot 2 under par. No. He had it up there at 5 or 6 under par at one time. So he played that course pretty well. And for someone who doesn't play a lot and does a lot more designing, he's a wild card in that regard too, because he can play on certain courses. So I'm anxious to see what he does there in match number 11.
And that's the thing with match play. That's the thing with match play. He had a lot of birdies, even though he didn't finish with a great low score number. He birdied a lot of holes and was able to win a lot of holes.
Right.
Yep.
And if you blow up on one hole,
a couple of things. Trouble here is that obviously you're playing as stroke play.
Right.
So do you play it as a match play game and say, well, look, I've got to match X person's score, and then also trying to eliminate the 6s and 7s from your card, because the problem with the Homestead is that you're playing so many different types of shots and so many different clubs that you wouldn't use in certain situations.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to shoot low numbers. That's the difference between the first match. It's the first round and this round. Yeah, you got to shoot a low number.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this course is, if you hit it in the right spots, it's a little easier. We'll talk more about the course here in just a little bit. Let's move on down now to match number 12. We won't spend a lot of time here, but any thoughts on myself going up against Steve?
Oh, Steve's going to eat your lunch.
Well, I think the one comment I would make on this one is that because you're not, Dwayne, as damaged going back to player clubs on this course as you would have been on some of the other ones.
And it's funny because the last course I played with the tour clubs was the Homestead, and I shot 11 under on it with the tour clubs. So I'm trying to decide. I'm going to play a practice round tonight because, again, don't forget, you cannot practice after tonight. But again, we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But we'll try and play a practice round on that here this evening just to make sure that the player clubs works okay on it, and then get ready and go with that. So I mean, I've been playing decent. You know, I shot really well in the round that we played here this afternoon. I was 16 under par. So yes, I know it's
So
sissy
you
club.
clearly peaked too soon.
Yeah, well, I
Peaked
just
too early.
it is
So
what it is.
It's downhill from there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All right, match 13.
Well,
Go ahead, Steve.
Sissy clubs.
I mean, if you're going to play anything close to what you played against me for the rights of the first pick, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a tough time. You know, I mean, you had me on the back of my heels every hole, so you know. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think the difference with this is that you're playing on slower greens as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
All right, match number 13. Match number 13 is Jack and Caleb versus Joey Man and Botek. So thoughts here, guys?
Obviously, it's matching Jack and Botek up again.
Right.
I think, to be honest here, I think this one is going to come down to how their respective partners play.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's been struggling a little bit with his. I'm hoping Jack can get that straightened out in the next day or two because he has been struggling a little bit with his tempo and direction. You know, he's the first one to tell you, but I think he'll get it together.
He will. I mean, if anybody can, he will.
Exactly. I think it'd be very close between. I said Jack and Botek. I genuinely think this one's going to come down to how well their partners shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see Jack and Botek being pretty even in regards to score, probably. But then you wonder how Joey Man and Caleb are how they're going to score on this course. So Joey Man actually just said he said, I'm going to concentrate on Caleb, obviously. He and I go back and forth and can go either way most times. We have been practicing a lot, trying to catch up to the big boys.
Right, yeah.
Is that a fat joke, Joey?
No.
Wow.
All right, let's move down to match 14 then. And that's Daryl and Justin versus Elizabeth and Sammy. What's your all's thoughts?
I love this matchup.
Too close to call.
Matchup.
Yeah, this is the funnest. This is probably the most fun matchup because
I love this matchup.
Justin and Liz have got history. They've got history.
That's true.
And obviously, Justin and Sammy are going to be.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun all week with them too because they're going to be after each other.
Yep.
Definitely. I think this is the match of the round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I think that because Elizabeth can play so well, pretty much, you know, she's very consistent. And Sammy's been really
Especially
up
on
and
the par
coming.
fives.
You know, he's been playing really well. Got a win this past week, and you know, Justin of course could shoot low at any time. I mean, there are times where he is lights out. And we know that Daryl can play. He's been playing really well as of late. So yeah, this matchup is going to be extremely, extremely good. Or it could go the other way. It literally could be something that goes completely off the rails too. So one way or the other. So I'm anxious to see how that works.
Justin hits sissy clubs too. See, it's starting already.
We'll put this back up there for everybody to see once again. So there are the pairings. We've got Rich and Jakey versus Terry and Martin. We've got Duncan and Zach versus Darren and Matt. We've got myself going up against Steve. We've got Jack and Caleb versus Joey Man and Botek. We've got Daryl and Justin going up against Elizabeth and Sammy. All right, so that will wrap up this part of the hooking slice. We're going to go into our review and preview now. And what I want to do is talk a little bit, guys, about what happened last week. So the current Ryder Cup score, as you guys can see here on your screen for Team New Jersey, it is 2.5 points. And for Team West Virginia, we have 6.5 points. I would have put up there a New Jersey logo, but their college is Rutgers, and that's just weird. So we'll just,
Princeton? What about Princeton?
no, I guess I could have done that, but this one actually says WV. So, but anyway, that's the score as it stands right now. And if we go back to last week's scores, and we'll kind of just review, and we'll talk a little bit to the guys here what they thought. But in round one last week, and if you go to our website, you can see the entire scoring there, and I will make sure I get the website updated when I'm finished with the show here this afternoon. But in the first matchup, guys, we'll do a little review here. We had Matt versus Caleb, and Matt, I absolutely spanked Caleb with a victory of 7-6. Caleb was really struggling on the greens with the putter, and succumbed to Matt after the 12th hole. So any comments on that match from last week, guys? Any of you guys see it?
Yeah, it was. I'll be honest, it was a non-contest. I think that once Caleb was struggling on the greens, he was just leaving himself too many putts for par that was like 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot. Yeah. And on those greens, you just that'll kill you. That'll kill you. Yeah. And it wasn't, Matt didn't. He shot okay.
Matt made the
he
putts
took advantage
when he had to.
Yeah, and made the putts when he had to.
Yeah.
Well, that was a massive, massive upset because there's no way Matt's on the same level as Caleb. Caleb's going to wipe him out this week.
All right. The second match was Mr. Joey Man versus Zach Z the G, and Z the G was able to defeat Mr. Joey Man 4-3. So that was the first point for Team New Jersey. They got on the board first. Neither one of these were streamed, so I didn't get a chance to see it, so don't really have a lot to say there, other than obviously Zach played his round early because he had to go on vacation, so we'll let him play early. Moving down to the next matchup, we had what I thought was an absolute wonderful match to watch, and that was Sammy versus Rich. So what do you guys think about that one?
Some of your stuff, Sammy, as a matter of fact. Sammy played good. And I think Sammy would agree. Neither one of us played great, but Sammy played better. And he got ahead. I was behind the whole time. I finally caught up, I think, around hole 15 or 16. No, 16, I think we got it all square. 15, and then it came down to the last 3 holes, and I don't know whether I crumbled under the pressure or he just brought it, but he got one ahead and won. It was a tight match.
Remind me, Rich, were you on tour or player clubs then?
No, I'm on player clubs. I can't.
Yeah, I think what it was and what it came down to was the fact that 18th hole, if you're on player clubs, it's a 3-shotter.
Yep, and it killed me.
Well, it actually came down to came down to 17. He actually won hole 17.
Yeah,
and,
but I think
it was decided, and it was going to be tough, like you're saying, for me to take 18 from him. And I'm not using player clubs as an excuse whatsoever, because
no.
The reason I use the player clubs is because I love the flop shot, and I just using the tour clubs with the flop shot. It's a crapshoot for me. I'll hit very fast, very slow, blah blah blah, and I feel much more comfortable with the player clubs.
I think what it was I think the point I was trying to make was once you went one down with one to play, you were relying on Sammy effectively having to par that hole.
Or hit it in the water or something.
Or hit it in the water,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And
right.
he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, Sammy had the advantage on that hole due to the tour clubs. Simply put, it was a great match to watch.
It was, and I think we're both going to play better this week. Neither one of us played great, but he played a little bit greater.
No. But you know what? It's not about who played better or who played. It's the fact that not one match in that first round, nobody gave up. Right. Nobody gave up.
No, one didn't give up.
Agreed.
Everybody gave it 110%, and so.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
got
the
2
next-
holes behind right at the beginning, and it could have got ugly.
Yeah. All right, guys. The next matchup was Justin versus Elizabeth, and that was a fantastic match. I was able to watch most of it until I had to leave right at the end, so I wasn't real sure who actually won at the end, but it ended up being Miss Putz, who was 2 up there at the end, so she won 2 up against Justin, and I know you guys said that this match was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
It was probably the best match. I'm going to I'm going to say that the 18th for Justin with the player clubs cost him on that.
We're back to that same hole. Back to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
18th hole.
Because I think
Yep.
the minute you've got player clubs, you take Eagle out of the equation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's just it's something you have to, you take Eagle out of the equation on that hole, but you bring birdie in on holes you can control better. That's
yeah.
But I
I
mean,
agree with that.
but I mean, you talk about grinding it out. Those two just, right to the end, man.
Toe to toe. Toe to toe.
All right. Next matchup was Martin versus Jakey Robo, and I know that one went down to the last shot, and I watched that one all the way through. Two contrasting styles. Jakey Robo likes to take his time and be patient, and of course Martin just gets up there and hits the ball. And it worked out for Martin this time. He was ended up 1 up. Both of them didn't play extremely well, but Martin did play a great 18th hole. Like we said, there's that hole again, right, guys? And was able to cash in there on the 18th for a victory for Team West Virginia.
I think the reoccurring theme in at least half of those matches was the fact that you could have a level scoreboard here if there was something went the other team's way. You could very easily have halves. It was 1 up the other way, and it was fine margins. And I think Martin's match showed that off to a T. Because if I remember rightly, Jakey hit it in the water, didn't he? He did, didn't he? And then Martin rolled in a putt from 30 foot almost, didn't he? And it was. Yeah. It left Jakey with a horrible putt, and I think he underhit it if I remember rightly.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Martin rolling in a 30-footer is obviously a fluke. He probably just closed his eyes and gave it a whack.
Well, I think the thing about that was, again, that typified match play because they were playing reasonably well.
Right.
But again, it was competitive. It was like par for par, birdie for birdie, all the way through. I think that for me, it wasn't necessarily the 18th. It was the key hole. I think it was the 16th. Jakey went for the green in 2 and left it well short, didn't he? Because he wanted clarification about chipping, didn't he, Steve?
Right.
And I think off the back of that, he made par, but Martin made a nice conventional birdie with a decent rolled in putt, and I think to me that was the key hole.
Yeah. All right.
Wayne, you've got to look a little more interested when you're listening to this on the screen. You look like you're
I'm trying.
Take a nap there.
I know, it feels like it, right? Next up, we had Darren versus Steve, and Darren won 5 and 3. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch this one because I was out, or did I? I don't remember if I did or not. I watched so much golf, I forget.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Darren came out like gangbusters, man. Birdie, 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 and I'm down 3 holes to none after 4, and that was tough. That was tough to come back from.
Once I got the lead,
it's not that. It's not that kind of a course where you can say, okay, you know what, I have a chance, and I'm going to try to pick up shots. You know what? It's just not that kind of course. And
you've got to be playing your best golf to beat Darren in the first place. And when you spot him 3 holes, you're doomed. Yeah.
After 4, Yeah.
The key for me was, I think it was either the 12th or the 13th, that one that goes round the clump of trees. I think you had the 6-foot putt, didn't you? And at the moment, at that point, you were only 2 down. And you had that
And I hit it
6-foot
too hard.
putt, and you hit it too hard. And if you'd won that hole and it was 1 down, 5 to play, it's game on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what? He was another key in that game too. I had a chip shot on the 15th. It
Yep.
was a 9. It was a 9-foot, I want to say 9.
Yeah.
9.
9-yarder.
And
Yeah.
9-yarder. I'm sorry. And I thought it was going to go in, and I missed it by what, like
inches.
You
4
got
inches.
robbed. You got robbed on a couple of those.
If I would have sunk that, then I would have lived on to 16. I birdied 16. I birdied 17, which was the hardest hole on the course, and that probably would have put us into hole 18 as the 5th match that went down to the last hole.
Yeah.
Well, if you just joined us in the Twitch stream, guys, welcome in. You're watching
margins.
the Hooking Slice here on Shenanigans Live. Just saw that Jakey Robo came in. So, Jakey, if you haven't yet got to see the matchups, since you just came in here, I will put that up on the board for you so you can see where you're matched up. So let me head on over here before we continue talking about the matches from last week. So I'll put that on there for you. So there you go, Jakey Robo.
Me, Jakey.
Yep, it's you and Rich.
You and me, Jakey. We're gonna dominate just like we dominated CCB.
And you're going up against Terry and Martin. So good luck to you. I know you just came in here. Justin says, I don't know why I keep drawing ringers. I just want a gift. In other words, I want Martin. So.
You got a gift. You got Sammy.
Well, now he wants Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, last week he wanted Sammy, and now he wants Martin.
Yeah.
It's a call out, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, the next matchup, guys.
What boxers do after the thing.
Never happy.
The next matchup, guys, is myself versus Wugs. So, what do you guys think about that match?
Is it? That one.
You.
That match. Yeah, sorry, we're going review, aren't we?
Well, the hole
Again.
in one, Dwayne. I mean, it was simply the hole in one on
13.
on that part.
12. Yeah.
12 or 13.
Yeah, whichever one. 12, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nobody birdied that hole. Never mind, eagled it, and
True.
that was the whole difference. You get a birdie on that hole, Wugs wins by 1.
Yeah, the 18th, man. It's just I hit that was the only time that I hit a fast that entire time. It was really strange. And then I was having 160, 170 yards third shot because it's so long with the player clubs, and I just couldn't hit a good shot. And Wugs hit one right in there, and it was just an easy birdie for him. And that's where the tour clubs and are playing with the player clubs hurt me there. But I should never have been in that situation.
But then, to be honest with you, I don't think, although you think that a fast, I don't think it hurt you that much because the layup is a tough layup. You've only got about 15 yards of fairway to play with, width-wise.
Yeah, I know.
So I think that the fast wasn't the thing that hurt. I think the fact that you couldn't, even if you'd hit the fairway, have gone for it in
right.
2 anyway.
Right, and I knew, but I was 170 out, where I would have been like a 135 out, and I could have been hitting an easier wedge instead of like a 6-iron. So that was the problem there.
Yeah, I don't know how many people I watched on that 18. Everybody hitting that same pitch shot up into the green, and it just wouldn't stop. Yeah,
going long,
just wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so, that was a half. Wugs and I did half that match. The next match was Terry versus Daryl, guys. Daryl won 3 and Daryl won 3 and 2.
That is real death.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a virtual desk.
Didn't see that, so.
You know what? First of all, I want to say that there was only one scorecard that was submitted to me clean, and I mean no bogeys, pars, and birdies, and that was Tats. Played a totally clean round.
Dwayne? Kim's mom says you need to move that Rubik's Cube over to the left a little.
Well, I can't.
You're blocking.
I knew someone was going to say that, but that's the only part. Like my art with if I make the video camera any smaller, it makes me look really stupid. So that's where it's going to stay.
The comment I would make, which is quite right, Steve, is that if you are not bogeying, you're always in the hole.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're always in the hole. And you know, the level we play at, you're always going to be in the hole. And Daryl did that well.
Yep.
The last matchup was Jack and Botek, guys. What do you think about that one?
Oh, great match.
Yeah. Great match,
you know,
to me, it was almost like Jack didn't really get started. I think any time he hit a decent shot, Matt had already hit a decent shot in reply. And to me, Jack just couldn't get a foothold in it.
Jack sometimes plays like that. Jack sometimes, quite often, does much better on the back nine than he does on the front nine. Quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's going to put it together this week, though.
Yeah, I would think he's going to be there or thereabouts. And I think the problem was that, it was fine margins because for whatever reason, every time Jack had hit a bad shot, it coincided with one of Matt's better ones. And he was always chasing it.
Jakey, it was by looks, and that's why you and me were the first two listed.
He's asking how the matchups were determined. That's what Rich is talking about. All right, so
I like these matchups.
Yeah,
I like these matchups. I think it's people who enjoy playing with each other. I think it's people who are comfortable playing with each other, and it should be good.
Well, and I'll tell you this too. We'll get into the preview now, guys. This week coming up here on the Elite Friends Golf Society Ryder Cup, we're going into team stroke play now. So what that means is we're going to be taking the partners' scores and combining them. So if I shot, well, let's just take Rich and Jakey for example. Rich shot -7, Jakey shot -5. Their score will be -12. So it's their score combined versus their opponent's score combined, and whoever has the lowest score will actually get that point. If it's a tie, they'll get a half, and so forth and so on. Same with myself and Steve. Even though we're not playing team, it'll be the best score stroke-wise, and it'll be worth a point as well. So the difference, guys, for those of you out there watching who are our participants in there, you do not, once again, you do not have to send the scorecards to us this week. It will be done inside the society, so do not forget, you must play this inside of the society as a tournament, and it will take care of itself. Now, that does not mean, however, that you have to play it by yourself. You are more than welcome to play it with your partner, or if you feel like you want to put all 4 people in there at one time and you guys discuss that and you want to be able to stream it so everybody can see it, you're more than welcome to do that. We definitely would encourage that. People love being able to watch like we did this week. We were able to watch those matches. But again, it is a 3-day time period, again, that you guys can play. It opens up tomorrow. It actually opens up tonight at midnight, I guess, or whenever it starts.
Right.
And it will go and run through July the 10th, so it starts tonight. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You must have your round in by Tuesday evening. We are playing on the Homestead, and if you haven't had a chance to play this course, some people like it, some people don't. I am one of the people who have played it multiple times over and over. I've played it like 10 rounds in societies and the TGC tours. So it is a course that is difficult. It can play difficult. You have to use every single club in your bag. You're not just going to be able to get up and hit driver 9-iron, driver 8-iron. You know, you're going to have to use pretty much every club in your bag to score well here at the Homestead. The greens can be difficult if you don't hit them in the right spots. And so that could be interesting here as well. Remember, we're trying to get the lowest score. You're not doing match play, so that's going to change things up a little bit as well. So once again, July 8th through the 10th, right, we will be doing that. Now, There is one big thing that I want to mention. Actually, I'm going to let Steve do it because this is his Ryder Cup, and I'm going to let him tell you there are a couple of changes going forward. So, Steve, go ahead.
You've got prize money. Yeah.
For round three, we made a change. Right, Dwayne? We had singles match play in there for round 3.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, single stroke play.
Right.
We had moved single stroke play to the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Darren had discussed this with me, and it makes a lot of sense. I think for the 4th and final round, having that singles matches is more enticing.
And remember, they're doubled. The points are doubled that day.
And it gives you an opportunity. If for instance, we come back in the second round, the third round, get way ahead of you guys, it gives you a chance to catch up. It gives the team behind, whichever team is behind, it keeps it in play. It's not going to be over. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I agree.
Exactly. So that's basically it there. Same course, same date, same, it's just different format. That's all.
All right.
Can we make sure though that we drop a neutron bomb on the 18th on Valhalla, because I hate that hole.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that, Darren. Thank you.
Yeah, I hate that hole because every time I end up in the water. For whatever reason, I just can't fathom the drive out on that hole.
Well, you're better this time then.
Steve,
I'll show you hit the water this time.
Steve, can I be matched up against Darren in the final round?
The other 17, though, Rich, I'm fine with.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Homestead, Riviera is the 3rd round, Valhalla is the 4th round. These are all challenging courses, in their own way. And I think they're pretty good Ryder Cup courses.
Yeah, wouldn't disagree with that.
I got to say, the first course, that Dunholm Manor,
a little unfair?
Said, we were talking about just the opposite.
No, completely
the opposite. That was a tough course. And there was not a single easy shot through 18 holes on that course. You had to think about every single shot from tee to green. And it was tough. It was hard. Tough and hard being, the same. But it was tough and hard, but it was fair. There was nothing unfair about it. It was just you had to make good shots every single shot. It really challenged you. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Dwayne. No. Go ahead.
I was going to get ready and wrap things up, but we still have 3 minutes. So.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, the director is going stretch.
No, I mean, talking about the courses, I think they are 3 different courses that require 3 different approaches to play them. I think Homestead, you as Dwayne said already, you've got to use every club in your bag. Riviera, it's not as tough as you'd think it is, but again, it's risk reward. There's some good par 3s on there where you can hit it really close, even though they look long. And that Riviera, I think it may slightly favour the tour clubs, possibly. I'm thinking about things like the par 4 10th is drivable. I think that the par 3s you've got to have like top end clubs that you can control, because otherwise you'll roll off the green. And Valhalla is very much a case of.
Are you selling tour clubs now?
Yeah, if people want tuition, they know where I am. Yeah. And then Valhalla is very much about where you play the ball. You know, you've got to plot your way around that course.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on stuff coming up this week? Just want to remind everyone, though, before we get to that, there'll be a full week of streaming here from Shenanigans Live Golf. I'll be doing a lot of society rounds. I'll be doing my TGC rounds this week. Also going to be doing the Open qualifying. I'll be streaming that. There's a lot of golf to be played this week here on the channel, so you'll want to make sure you stick and stay tuned here. And I'll also stream as much as we possibly can. Yeah. So with that, I think we're going to wrap things up here for our first edition of the Hooking Slice. Guys, any final thoughts from you?
Play well.
Yeah,
play
good
well.
luck, everybody.
Play smart, play well, have fun. That's it.
All right. If you are going to
Teams
stream,
will see you in your office if you play badly.
if you guys wouldn't mind, send me a direct message. Don't put it through the actual Shenanigans thread. Send me a direct message through the PSN if you're going to stream. Let me know when you're going to stream, what day, and what you're going to stream on so that I can get that up on the website because people will want to know. And I'll put those up on the website. I'll have it all ready to go. The website will be updated here within the next couple hours. I'll try and get everything updated from today's show, put all the round 2 stuff up there so everybody can see it whenever they need to see it. So I think that's going to wrap things up here from the Shenanigans Live studio. I want to thank everyone, excuse me, in the Twitch stream, all of the people who've been watching and viewing. I appreciate all the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the new setup, and I appreciate your support as always. And so for Administrator Captain Rax, and for Administrator Rich, and for Administrator Darren, I am Coaster Royalty. You have been watching the Hooking Slice here on Shenanigans Live. And until next time, we hope you continue to hit the ball straight and have a wonderful evening.